Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to our Srimad Bhagavatam Stuti series, continuing with Rudra Gita. Today's shloka is shloka number 38 of chapter 24, canto 4. Nama urja ishe trayah
Nama urja ishe trayaha
pataye yajnaretase
pataye yajnaretase
triptidaya cha jivanam
triptidaya cha jivanam
namah sarvarasatmane.
namak sarvarasatmane.
Word for word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Namaha,
Namaha.
I offer all obeisances unto you.
I offer all obeisances unto you.
Urje,
Urje,
unto the provider of the Pitruloka.
unto the provider of the Pitraloka.
Ishe,
Ishe,
the provider of all the demigods.
the provider of all the demigods.
Trayaha,
Trayaha,
of the three Vedas.
of the three Vedas.
Pataye,
Pataye,
unto the master.
unto the master.
Yajna,
Yajna,
sacrifices.
sacrifices.
Retase,
Retase,
unto the predominating deity of the moon planet.
unto the predominating deity of the moon planet.
Triptidaya,
Triptidaya,
unto him who gives satisfaction to everyone.
unto him who gives satisfaction to everyone.
Cha,
Cha,
also.
also.
Jivanam,
Jivanam,
of the living entities.
of the living entities.
Namaha,
Namaha,
I offer my obeisances.
I offer my obeisances.
Sarvarasa Atmane,
Sarvarasa Atmane,
unto the all-pervading Supersoul.
unto the all-pervading Supersoul.
Translation, my Lord,
My Lord,
you are the provider of the Pitrulokas,
you are the provider of the Pitralokas,
as well as all the demigods.
as well as all the demigods.
You are the predominating deity of the moon
You are the predominating deity of the moon
and the master of all three Vedas.
and the master of all three Vedas.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto you
I offer my respectful obeisances unto you
because you are the original source of satisfaction
because you are the original source of satisfaction
for all living entities.
for all living entities.
Reading from the purport of Srila Prabhupada. When the living entity is born within this material world, especially as a human being, he has several obligations unto the demigods, unto the saintly persons, and unto living entities in general. As enjoined in the Shastras, Devarshi Bhutapta Nranam Pitranam. Thus, one has an obligation to one's forefathers, the previous hierarchy. Lord Shiva prays to Lord Aniruddha to give him strength so he can become free from all obligations to the Pitas, demigods, general living entities, and saintly persons, and completely engage himself in the devotional service of the Lord. And then Prabhupada cites this particular shloka from the 11th canto, 5th chapter, 41st verse. Devarshi bhutapta nranam pitranam na kinkaro nayam rinicha rajan sarvatmana yasharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parihritya kartam. How is this verse translated? This verse says, O king, one who has given up all material duties and has taken full shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, who offers shelter to all, is not indebted to the demigods, great sages, ordinary living beings, relatives, friends, mankind, or even one's forefathers who have passed away. Since all such classes of living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, one who has surrendered to the Lord's service has no need to serve such persons separately. This is the translation of that 41st shloka from the 5th chapter of the 11th canto, where it clearly says that those who are devotees of Lord Krishna and who are serving him with sincerity and with faith, they have already paid up all their debts to all the forefathers and all the other jivatmas. So in essence, we are trying to understand the mood of Lord Shiva. And that mood of Lord Shiva is being described by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. That Lord Shiva is praying to Lord Aniruddha to give him the strength to be free from all obligations to all of these other personalities. So Shiva is understanding how the Lord is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So we are obliged and indebted to so many other jivatmas, including the scriptures, including the saints, including the devatas, the land of our birth, our forefathers, our friends, our relatives, all of the jivatmas who make it possible for us to have a life. So that means the minute you take birth, by default, you are carrying so much debt with you. So you are indebted completely. So many other jivatmas have to support you in your journey. So how do we pay back so many jivatmas? So Prabhupada used a simple analogy of how any central government or state government will collect taxes. So you can pay the taxes directly to the central government or the state government. And what is the responsibility of the central government? It then dispenses the funds to all of the other departments who need to perform their duties. The finance department, the education department, the home ministry, and so on and so forth. Now, it would not be possible for us to individually pay taxes to all of the departments. That would be quite stupid. Imagine if somebody says, no, I don't want to pay the central government. I will individually pay the taxes to the different departments. That's not feasible. On the other hand, if we don't pay the tax at all, then we are considered criminals. Similarly, the best way to fulfill our obligations in paying our taxes to all of the demigods, to all the forefathers, that obligation is fully met when you become a sincere devotee of Krishna. So individually, you don't have to pay Lord Ganesha or Lord Brahma or Parvati Devi or so many different 33 crore devatas. You don't have to pay all of your forefathers in Pitraloka. All your debt becomes dissolved the minute you pay Krishna. But how do you pay Krishna? By worshipping him. Manmana bhavavat bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Simply by becoming a sincere devotee and offering your heart to Krishna, all your taxes to all the other pitras, devatas, etc., rishis are all paid up fully. But the only problem is, in our life, we think we are the doers. But the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, Prakrite kriyamanani gunaih karmani sarvashaha ahankaram vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. What does this mean? That the spirit soul is bewildered. Bewildered by what? By the influence of the false ego. And therefore, the spirit soul thinks that he is the doer of the activities. But Krishna explains that actually all of that is carried out under the influence of the three modes. Krishna talks about the three doers in chapter 5. He talks about the Jivatma, the Paramatma, and Prakriti. But when you come to chapter 18 of the Bhagavad Gita, the 14th shloka, Krishna says, Adhishthanam tata karta karanam cha prithak vidham vividhascha prithak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. Then he talks about the five doers. What is that? The place of action, which is the body, the performer, which is the soul, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the five factors of action. So our challenge is that we think we are independent, that independently we are doing all of this. So continuing with Prabhupada's purport, one becomes free from all obligations to the demigods, saintly persons, pitas, ancient forefathers, etc., if one is completely engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, which is Sarvatmana Yasharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Parihritya Kartam. Your debt is fully dissolved when you practice devotional service to Lord Mukunda. Lord Shiva therefore prays to Lord Aniruddha to give him the strength so that he can be free from such obligations and entirely engage in the Lord's service. So again, this confirms that Lord Shiva is a Vaishnava. He worships Lord Vishnu. Soma, or the predominating deity of the moon, is responsible for the living entity's ability to relish the taste of food through the tongue. Lord Shiva prays to Lord Aniruddha to give him strength so that he will not taste anything but the prasada of the Lord. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung a verse indicating that the tongue is the most formidable enemy among all senses. If one can control the tongue, he can easily control the other senses. The nectar of instruction also says this, right? That the tongue, the belly, and the genitals are all in a straight line. The easiest way and the most effective way of controlling all your senses is to control the tongue by offering it only prasadam. The tongue can be controlled only by eating prasada offered to the deity. Lord Shiva's prayer to Lord Aniruddha is meant for this purpose. Triptidaya. He prays to Lord Aniruddha to help him be satisfied by eating only prasada offered to the Lord. So oftentimes we are tempted to have so many different foodstuffs, because we are in a mood of enjoying. But we have to learn to offer bhoga to the Lord every day and then honor that bhoga as prasadam. But most importantly, even the forefathers dance when you become a devotee of Lord Krishna. They are not interested in all of your other yajnas or austerities. But the minute you become a devotee of Krishna, why would they be dancing? Because they know they themselves will get liberated. When somebody in the family becomes Krishna conscious, as Narsimadev tells Prahlad Maharaj, immediately multiple generations of forefathers and the future generations will get liberated. And there is a wonderful pastime of Ramanujacharya with Kuresh Alvar. When the deity speaks to Kuresh Alvar and tells him that this is his last birth and he will be going back to the spiritual world, the person, his Guru Maharaj, dances. Ramanujacharya dances in absolute joy. He says, "Oh, I have produced a pure devotee, and therefore because I have produced this one pure devotee, because of that pure devotee, I myself will get liberated." Such is the mood of even great acharyas. Even Prabhupada has said that many times, if I can produce one pure devotee, then my life will be successful. So how humble are the great acharyas? They think that their disciple is going to deliver them. Any one pure disciple will deliver them by becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. So, but of course, in chapter 7, shloka 3, the Lord says, no, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschinmam veti tattvataha. That out of millions of people who may be practicing some transcendental path, hardly one would be interested in knowing Krishna. And of those millions who think they know Krishna, Krishna says, hardly one knows me in truth. So it is very rare to practice Krishna consciousness. That's why Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada is also referring to that prasada prayers that we recite. No? Prema bhakti jaha hoite, avidya vinasha hoite. When you truly love Krishna, then all of your avidya, Krishna himself will remove. So by serving Krishna, we are fully paid up in our debts to all of the Jivatmas. And Krishna is the only source of our satisfaction. That is also being mentioned here by Lord Shiva. Therefore, he is offering obeisances to the Lord because the Lord is the predominating deity of this entire universe. Everybody is dependent on the Lord because he is the original source of satisfaction for all living entities. So when you vest your love in Krishna, then you will also be fully satisfied.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.